If you've ever dabbled with web development, then you'll be familiar with the box model in CSS layouts. If you haven't, let's take a quick tour. Now, all UI elements in Android take up a rectangular space equal to the minimum rectangle needed to enclose the object. We call this the content bounds. Take this avatar placeholder image for example. Even though the image is a circle, its content bounds are this enclosing rectangle. Well, that's not entirely accurate. The object's bounds also include any padding, that is, any space that's considered to be part of the object that push its bounds outwards. So, in our example, the bounds would be equal to the contents area plus any padding applied to it. When positioning an element relative to other elements, you might also want to leave some space between them. This is where we can use margins to add extra space between objects that critically isn't considered to be part of the element. So we've seen how both padding and margins can be used to add extra space around an element, so you might be wondering when to use one or the other, or perhaps even a combination of both. Now, the key thing to remember is that if you want the space to be part of the object, then you should use padding, and if you don't want it to be part of the object, then you should use margin. So when do you want it to be part of the object becomes the question. The answer is if you want the touchable area or the background of the object to be enlarged, then use padding. Otherwise, use margin. So in our example, if we want this avatar to be clickable with a nice big touch target, but we don't want any touch highlight to extend too far towards the other items, we could use a combination of padding around the element to enlarge the touch area, and then margin between the elements to separate them out without that being part of the clickable zone. For those familiar with the web box model, notice that there is no concept of borders. While you can still apply borders, these are typically achieved using background images.